And then you sit here. And then I don't think you can eat during this though.
Okay.
Are you hungsies? Like starvesies?
No, I just have some.
Just want to have something.
Snacks
But like if you're gonna be crunching,
Don't worry.
audio.
We'll take a pause.
Okay. But now I have someone that can maybe edit things out if you don't want to put them in.
I think it's nice, it's like we're creating the landscape of your podcast. You want to have you want to have a cozy vibe?
Yeah.
So your guests maybe have a snack and a beverage.
Do you feel cozy? Do you feel cozy?
Yeah, I feel a little still.
Okay, yeah.
Out of breath from the stretching I was
Do you, babe?
doing in your office.
Take as much time as you need. I'm gonna shuffle the cards. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
I've never seen them.
Can you guys hear us okay, or do we need to be closer? Okay, cool.
I mean, it always helps to, speak into the mic.
Okay. Hi. Oh shit, I'm supposed to be filming behind the scenes of this. Thank you. Thank you. There she is. And there they are. Will you wave to my camera? Yay.
It's so sweet.
Okay, we're going to pull. Okay, so these cards were given to me. I guess we're just going to start.
Just begin.
And now we will begin. So I'm not really an oracle card person. By the way, if you hear clicking, that's my dog Choopy. She's walking around the room and we have wood floors.
Okay.
Choopy is 11 years old. She's a Sato. We rescued her from Puerto Rico and she's the love of my life. There she is. Okay. So I did not ever believe in cards like this. But then I got this as a gift and I pulled the card and I was like, holy cannoli, this is amazing. I believe in it. Eric's sister, Laura, who really always wants me to pull a card.
Yeah.
But do we shuffle these?
No.
Do we? Okay, you shuffle.
I'd like to shuffle
because here's my thing. If everything is energy and this is energy, then maybe it is real because it's all energy, everything.
I think of course.
So if you pull this, you believe that it's meant to be?
Well, I think if I think it's meant to be, it is meant to be, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Of course.
Okay.
I was just going through a period right after COVID where I was pulling a tarot card every morning.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you if you believed in it right when you walked in. Because I was like, I feel self-conscious. I don't know. It's easy to judge someone for the oracle of the unicorns.
This is an intense deck. I mean,
the unicorns are here to tell you. I mean, that's how they start some of these sentences.
Excuse me. It's okay. I mean,
wow. Wow.
It's a difficult, it's an intense one. She's got style. She's got grace.
Okay. She's got taste. She's got waist.
But I do like these. It's pretty. I feel like I'm falling into the northern lights.
Okay.
Okay. The dog farted.
The dog farted?
Yes.
Choopy? She ate fast and then went on a walk.
Okay.
Wow. What? Support.
She's naked.
Ask for help.
On a horse.
She's straddling a horse.
Yeah.
She's calmly straddling a horse. Ask for help. Get more rest. Nurture yourself. She's straddling a horse. Can you see it okay? I mean, you could probably zoom in and post, right? I don't know how life works.
Support. I feel like I need to pull another one. Let's read it. Can we read about it first?
Yeah.
Ask for help, get more rest. Nurture yourself. Feeling tired, burnt out, overwhelmed, or overworked is a call to lighten your load and recharge your batteries. Maybe this is for you too. Your energy levels are low. Well, yes. After the week I've had.
Yeah.
Your energy levels are low and it's proving counterproductive to getting things done or being there for others. You may feel you have to do everything yourself or don't know who to ask for help. A part of you could even be addicted to the adrenaline rush of stress and hustle. You may even feel it as a sign of weakness to slow down or that you don't deserve to be nurtured. You have nothing to prove by working yourself too hard or sacrificing yourself by doing everything alone. I don't think I need to do everything alone.
No.
I ask for a lot of help.
I used to be like that, but I've gotten so much better at it.
This winged horse urges you to ask for help.
Oh, yeah. That's the part that I'm like, okay, Choopy, I think you need to go in the bedroom because you're clicking a lot, right? She's really clicking around, right?
I don't think so.
Really?
It's kind of nice. This winged horse encourages you to ask for help, to get more rest and be more loving to your body. Schedule in non-negotiable time for naps, set boundaries around your work hours. And do you take naps?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
No.
Yeah, no.
I really wish I did. I couldn't even take a nap today. If all the days that I needed a nap, it was today. Set boundaries around your work hours and have you ever really done that?
Set boundaries around my work hours?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Maybe I pulled this card for you too.
Maybe. But
yeah,
you do
but
too.
Yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts about this because I think it's also like the work of trying to understand oneself or feel, for me, I think like work around feeling better also needs to be put down sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Also, like, I know there's really a lot of people that take naps. Like, it's a normal thing, but like, I can't nap. If I nap, I feel so groggy. I end up sleeping way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it makes me tired. So no, I don't nap.
God damn it.
And you don't.
That feels like a bit of a bust.
What did I do with my phone? I wanted to, here we go. Okay. So this podcast. Hi.
We're getting cozy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that card? Do you feel like that was a big flop?
I felt like I wanted Choopy's nesting on the couch. Choopy is not trained. I feel like she's just doing her thing at home.
Hi, Choop Choop.
Can you see her? Can you see Choopy?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What a legend.
What a legend. Hi, little girl in my world. I feel like,
no, I don't really have boundaries with work. I don't want boundaries with work right now. I feel like so lit up inside of me, but I did notice that, when you read that, I felt kind of like resistance come up when I was hearing you say that. So yeah. I just don't want to hear someone say, don't work. You know what I mean? But I want to get on because
this is such an interesting question for you. Like what work means.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Well, that's actually something that someone asked you, and I polled my Instagram followers to ask you questions.
I can't believe
many people asked you. I mean, it was a lot of you inspire me. It was like a lot of just love for you.
It's really nice.
It's really great. But I said this show is called Expanders, and an expander is someone who shows you what's possible. And for me, you show me, I mean, you were the first person I was like, that's my first guest on my ever podcast. Not only can I fumble through this first podcast and figure it out with you.
By the way, you're not fumbling. You are amazing. You already feel like you have some sort of a zone that you're in.
See,
that we're
this is why
together.
You make me feel so secure and safe. You do.
Mm-hmm.
But you just I'm always asking you how to live my life. I'm always you just have such a great self-care practice. You really work at it. It's work. You journal, you read, you seek help when you need it.
Boy, do I ever.
Move your body.
I try.
I'm like, wow. It's it seems like it's second nature to you. But just being your friend and watching you just move through life and fighting for your happiness, fighting for your health, it's easy for me, at least. I struggle with it. I mean, I've struggled with my body and movement and that sort of thing for so long. You told me once, you're meant to go through this, and you'll know, oh, there's Mimi. You'll know why my son is barking. Mimo. Thanks, Mimo. Right when I'm getting vulnerable. Good lordy.
Mimi supporting you. Mimi.
But for me, when I was in a low moment in my life, I had a surgery and I was feeling just separate from my body, remember? And you were just you are meant to go through this time. You're going to be in it for a little while. And then when you come out of it, you're going to feel like you went through it for a reason.
Yes.
And so just today, literally, because I've been working out with a trainer, I've been moving, sort of. She's the PT, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing a PT.
That's amazing too.
She did laser on my neck. It was amazing. I do highly recommend.
I want to try that.
Because my neck is so stiff.
Yeah, mine too.
I think most people have a stiff neck.
Yeah, mine comes up in like very
I can't imagine.
times.
Well, yeah. But like you just move your body so much. I mean, you have a movement coach. You like it, you prioritize that. And for me, seeing you, how you live your life is so inspiring. And I just wanted to know if you can
Jessie,
share.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, of course.
Also, vice versa.
Thank you.
I mean, we have, you know, I think we have different practices, but very much the same intensity and intention behind that we use to kind of live. What were you going to say? I didn't mean to.
No, I receive with gratitude.
Thank you. I do like you. I do like you saying that. Receive.
Yes. It's a big theme I've noticed in my life is teaching people to receive lately. It's a whole thing. But anyway, what my question is do you have any processes? Bless you. You're just adorable. You're the cutest little bear.
Do I have any, what's your question?
What are your daily practices that are non-negotiable to help you stay on track with your health, your well-being, that sort of thing?
Okay. Well,
because you are great at it.
Well, I don't know. Okay. First of all, I want to say, what is that thing that people say? Necessity is the mother of invention. Like there is no part of any of the things that you've seen me do for years that is anything other than deeply necessary. It's born out of a place of like great need and great discomfort.
Okay.
And great, I would go so far as to say pain in some capacity. And that's where I started to do all these things. It wasn't like, it's not just like, good on you, Tay-Tay, for, you know, getting up and stretching.
Yeah.
It's like,
if I don't do this,
I will be in pain. I will be in the abyss.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a preventative thing. That's
Well,
motivating.
I think it's like, I think all of this started as like a healing thing. You know, I got, it started as a like triage. All of this stuff started as triage in my mid-20s.
Just like,
I would say, so the idea of a daily practice.
Yeah.
I do things like I have trained myself at this point where I like wake up and I pray. I've like very much come out of the closet about God. I like wake up and I'm like, I can't do this on my own. Source, nature, God, love.
So this isn't a religious God. This is a something grand, something bigger than me.
It's like the good old, you know, power greater than myself, a higher power.
Yes.
So, and I think like there are people in different recovery communities that understand what that's about. But I guess for people who don't know, it's the notion that like you get to a place in your life where you're like, I have tried and I have failed and I am in pain and I don't know what to do. Help. It's basically my idea of God or source or whatever is like kind of like if I ask for help is a valuable question. Help is a question that I will receive an answer to out into like the ether. Like if I ask for help, I'll receive something.
Does that make sense? Yeah, totally. I keep hearing this mantra of like, show me how it gets better. Show me how to do this.
Yeah.
Just show me how good it can get. Like, that's what it is. Show me how good it can get.
That. Show me how good it can get. And like sometimes it's been like, show me in neon lights how to make it through the day.
Yeah.
Like neon lettering, and what my next move is. Yes.
Does that help? So yeah. So you'll pray in the beginning, and especially like if you're in a low moment, and then you'll say, just show me how to get through the day. And then something magical happens.
No, I think that I also have learned that like that God, this all sounds so just like, but the magic isn't also just taking the next right action.
Yeah.
You know, the magic isn't like getting out of bed.
What? Like,
I don't know. Like, I don't usually talk about stuff like this. And I feel like it could sound like trite or something, but like canned, but it's really the truth. But to say what you're saying, like I have found so much to answer your question. Really, on most days I try, because mornings can be hard for me. I struggle with I think from the way I grew up, I like have baked into me some level of depression and anxiety that I have found ways to soothe and treat and be with.
And these ways are healthy.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying this because so many people, I mean, Lord knows I've had moments like,
we all have, sister.
We've dabbled in all kinds of things to make me feel better, like from pills to mac and cheese. I mean, I've done it all.
I mean, mac and cheese is still where I live. I mean, gluten does make me feel like I have an inside turtleneck on.
No,
that's what I've learned.
What the hell? What's an inside turtleneck?
It makes my lymph nodes.
Oh, an inside turtleneck. I don't know why I pictured that like on your inside of your...
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know. But now I get it.
Yeah. So it's actually...
That's what gluten makes you feel like?
Yeah, as I've gotten older, I'm 38 now. Like in the past 3 years, like if I eat too much mac and cheese, I feel like my throat is swollen.
What?
Maybe someone on your podcast can help me more.
Yeah. So I'll have some doctors on. So this is just a trial. This is like to see how a podcast would be.
I know. It's like a pie. I mean, and here you go.
Thank you.
This is so brave. So the idea of like saying, like, I'm open to listening. It's not all going to come from my mind, my thinking mind.
Yeah.
Is all sorts of interesting shit happens, including like starting a podcast. You know what I mean? That's just like trying something.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've been wanting to start a podcast forever, and there's been so much resistance within me of like, it's hard. Like people make it look so easy. I listen to I'm such a podcast listener.
I know you are.
I'm obsessed with podcasts.
You always have. Jess always has the best podcast recommendations.
I'll send you some good ones.
You have the best ones. I always listen to whatever you send me.
Really?
And I don't do that with many people.
Really?
I mean, I have a hard time answering texts. You don't think I do because you think I text like really well. Remember that you were asking me that? You're like, you always check in.
Yeah. Are you not like that with
everyone? No.
I'm honored.
Yeah. I have a hard time with that. With
really?
Some people. Very much so.
So honored because you're not like that at all. You make me feel so taken care of in our friendship.
Oh,
like, that's another thing that you've expanded for me is that, you check in on me, and I feel like I need to be better about that with all my friends. I actually wrote a note in my notes app of a list of all my friends because I just don't
What's going on, Jess?
And I'm like, I'm going to send a Happy New Year GIF thing to all these people on New Year's so that I can make sure I just do it. So these are the people I love. And by the way, if you didn't get it, I still love you and you're my friend. Ooh, here's a good one. Are you busy?
No.
Don't check your phone right now.
I'm sorry.
You're in the middle of a fancy interview. Mimu's barking. It's chaos. I get it.
I'm thrilled. I want to pull another Oracle of the Universe
do you really?
card.
As we did that, I was like, oh, is this? Well, this is our thing.
I think it is. It could be. We could pull a couple different cards. I do like the idea of supporting ourselves more. Keep going.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
From the card.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
From the card. We'll find some themes here. Keep going. What's your question?
Okay. So my question is, so I want to ask you a couple. Here's one that I think is really fun.
Who has sourced your questions? Did you make these up or are these
No,
from the internet?
These are from the internet. There's
I'm so
a bunch of good ones.
People even respond to something like that.
Really? People are obsessed with you.
No, they are not.
Yes, they are. Receive. They really are.
Receive. Thank you.
Receive. Okay. They are. I mean, and also you don't have social media anymore. So I got a lot of people asking why. And if you're going to come back, you don't have to answer that.
I mean, I don't know. Life is a movable feast. Maybe someday.
Okay.
Who knows?
Do you want to answer why or not?
I think that for me, social media just fucks with me. I can't do it well. Like I'm so astounded by the way you do. I mean, to me, use social media. It's like an art form. Like you create content. It's deeply creative. It's so funny. It's so good. I get a little bit lost in the sauce of who is doing what And I think it's a part of my own neurodivergence, my own ADHD, which I also there's this book called Scattered Minds by Gabor Mate, that teacher. Do you know who he is?
No.
It's
No,
really
but
interesting.
I mean, that's a great
No, it's
title, and I
incredible.
get who it's for.
Me.
For maybe anyone.
Maybe anyone. But the thing that I learned about with my own untreated ADD is that when I start down the social media path,
Yeah.
it's like a bug in my brain where I'm excited. I'm like, who liked this? Who didn't like this?
Yeah.
Who's posting what? I'm not good enough. And that voice of I'm not good enough or I'm not doing it right, I just have no time for it.
Yeah.
And it really gets really kicked up there. And I also kind of have decided this thing that I think that it's okay to be that like an actor is separate from a celebrity. I think
What
I'm
do you
really
mean?
bad. I don't know. Like, I think that celebrity might be like a side effect of like being an actor.
That rustling sound is Taylor kicking my plant.
But I'm not particularly good at focusing enough in my day to say I'm going to share this and I'm not going to share this. Like if once that door gets opened, there's a lot of energy that's constantly scattered.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to rein it in for me. You know, I'll get in my car accident. I'll hit something because I'm thinking about stuff. And so I'm wondering, I'm kind of experimenting with what does that look like? Because it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in people and I don't want to engage and I deeply want to feel connected like everyone else. And I also want to do the right thing by my career, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, well, is it maybe my quality of life is worth like not getting a job or not finding out about something or whatever? You know, I think there's a point to growth or more not being the end game. More isn't the point. And so I was only on social media for this like vague idea of more-ness. And I was like, maybe more isn't the point.
But like, you're going so deep and like all I'm thinking about is what do you do with your time if you're not on social media? I spend so much time. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
And don't love it.
Yeah.
But also like,
I don't have, I mean, it's for all of my practices.
What do you look at? You just text people.
I text people. I call them.
You read a lot too.
No, I don't. I get distracted by reading. I like spend time with Libby. I like walk my dog.
With who?
Libby, my girl.
Well, that was another question. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, I think about that. I spend time, I go to therapy. I work on work. I like prepare for roles.
Yeah.
I try to work on the vertebra in the middle of my back that feels stuck. And I try to get them to undulate.
You can only do that for what, 10 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, I don't do that, but my time is then spent trying to, you know, I guess be in life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy. I mean, it's like, the reality, you want to know the reality of it?
Yes.
Like I spend time trying to practice presence often.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Just kidding. And that's a joke.
I mean,
no,
I totally. Know,
totally. No, that's beautiful.
And like also negotiating with the question internally of like, why do I need people to see me a certain way?
Yeah. Well, I'm also talking about not just posting, but ingesting social media. Like, I'll spend a long time on TikTok because I want to see a cat playing a piano. You know, like it's very entertaining.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
If I send you stuff, you love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm like your aunt from Idaho. Oh, it's so exciting. I'm so excited. Like it's never happened. And it's
crazy.
Normal.
It's
normal.
I could
see it all the time. It's not, I don't know if it's like the way that I'm doing it, but I certainly feel like I'm inside of myself. Like I'm closer to my own particular soul's imprint on the planet.
Damn. Who can say that?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm there, but I feel like it helps me stay closer to like, okay, I'm Taylor. I'm not anybody else. It's going to be done my way. I mean, with me.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, I think it is
That's
cool.
really cool. All right. Well, you said Libby. Do you want to talk about her?
My girlfriend?
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
She's such a nice, cute little bear.
Yeah. She's an angel.
I mean, that's just was one of the questions.
Who is Libby?
Not who, but is Taylor dating anyone?
Yes. I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
With Libby.
With Libby. Okay. Well, then that's the answer.
I mean, is there more you want me to talk about?
I want you to want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So if you want to talk about Libby, we can.
Well, it's your podcast, Jess Rona. What do you want?
No, I want you to talk about anything you want to talk about. I know people would be curious about your relationship, but we can also talk about, there's other questions in here.
I don't really know what we would like. What is there to talk about? Like, we both really
Libby
like
on
coffee.
Social media?
Libby drinks a lot more coffee than I do. If I drank the amount of coffee that Libby drank, I would be like,
you'd float out of here.
I mean, I'd probably like,
you'd need that scattered brain book a little bit more. You need a couple copies of it.
Yeah. Dude, scattered
Where'd my scattered brain book go? Oh, scattered minds. Where'd my scattered mind? How do people find that book? They probably lose it. That's a flaw in the system. You'd have to buy a couple copies. I wonder if you purchase one and it comes with 4. That might be better. I'll email the author.
Libby's reading it too.
Oh, I have a question.
She's not on social media. Yeah, Jess Rona.
Tell me about the day. This is something that
did you write this question?
I
love it. Okay. I love it. Go.
Because like I've never asked you this.
Yeah.
Tell me about the day that you knew you were famous.
What?
Yeah.
That I knew I was famous?
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't think, okay, if I understand, okay. Well,
is there a day? Because, okay, can I tell this?
I have two ideas. Yes,
okay, because I was going to say, I should tell the story about the Tegan and Sarah concert. Because I didn't know you were famous. I didn't know how famous you were.
Well, to the lesbians.
Okay, so you're lesbian. You're lesbian.
The
lesbian queen of the lesbians.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but of a certain age.
I mean, literally.
Well, let's say Orange is the New Black was iconic.
Men, women of all sexual orientations would love to be in love with you. I think anyone would. Really?
Such a crazy. That's such a sweet thing to say.
Oh my God. You're so like easy to be obsessed with.
Wow.
So I didn't know any of this when we first started hanging out. And I mean, this is just such a funny story because like it shows how naive I was.
It's such a funny story.
Like I threw you to the lion's den. So we were hanging out in Brooklyn. This was years ago. This was like 5-6 years ago. Maybe.
I think it was 6 years ago now.
We went to see Tegan and Sarah in Brooklyn.
Well, we went. I really liked you. We were really good. I really wanted to be your friend. I told you that when I met you. I said I believed you. Friends, and I was like, okay, it's on. We're gonna be friends. And then you were like, my friend Tegan, my friend Sarah. I think you said my friend. I think it was like your friends are in this concert, and I was like, sure. And then you were like, it's a Tegan and Sarah concert, and I said, I don't know if I should go to that. Like, is there like a special place for us to sit or something?
I had no. I was like, yeah,
no.
I think we got comp tickets.
Yeah.
So you were late and you met me there, and I had already sat down, and you texted me and you said, I think I need a buddy. And I got out to the lobby, and it was like you were ordering a drink, and the person who was serving you the drink was like starstruck, and like people were looking at you, and you were just like in the middle of a crowd,
glancing. It was a lot of
and
a lot of like people constellating their bodies.
And I didn't tell Tegan I didn't tell Tegan or Sarah I was bringing you. Mm-hmm. And later Tegan's like, why didn't you tell us? We would have gotten you like a special seat. And I just feel like I was just naive the way I handled it. And it's funny. It's a funny story. Do you think Tiki would be okay if I'm telling that story?
Of course she would be.
Tiki's the best. Shout out to Tiki. I'm going to have Tiki as a guest.
Yeah. She'd be an amazing guest. She's far more erudite than I. She has a lot of interesting things to say. Erudite.
Did you learn that in the Scattered Mind?
Yes. They should come in 4 copies.
What's erudite?
It means like well-spoken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was a funny story. That was a weird moment in time. I was also wearing a red buffalo plaid shirt.
Oh, Lord. And I think you had a beanie on.
Yeah.
Even
really
worse.
I had
you were
it was
a magnet. What were the two things you were going to say before I told you that story about like the famous
Well,
thing?
I remember once my brother, whom I love very much and is like a real, I constantly, like I'm angling for his affection. And there was one day after I did this job called Mercy. Do you know that I was in a show called Mercy?
No.
Right after I dropped out of graduate school, I got this to nanny. I didn't drop out because I had a job, but I left this graduate program.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah. And I was nannying and I got this job. I got this pilot, and then it went to series, and I thought I was going to do that. And just, it was going to be like what I did between being in the theater,
Right.
I did
so
this
you wanted to be
production
in
of
the
Uncle
theater,
Vanya.
and then also do some TV and movie stuff.
I wanted to make movies. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'll make movies. But I did this, this production of Uncle Vanya that summer. And then, while we were doing it, this show got picked up and went to series. And I did it for like 10 months, 22 episodes or something. And then every once in a while, I was 24 at that point. Like people would kind of recognize me. And I went home for Christmas and I was like at Walmart or Target with my brother. And somebody came up to me and said, "Are you that girl from, Mercy?" And I said, "No."
You did?
Yeah, I said no because I was so
and
overwhelmed.
And here she is, ladies and gentlemen. We have that girl here. It was a Walmart. Come on out, Sarah. Just kidding. I don't have her. So
that would be so upsetting. I would apologize to her so deeply. And my brother.
So you lied?
I fully lied and turned around. I said no, and I turned around.
Why? Because you were embarrassed?
Yeah, I just felt like I felt like I was like, no, like that's not my real work. That's not.
Yeah.
I want to be known for something else. You don't know me. I had this whole idea. And my brother was like, who suffers no fools, and was just like, you could have made that woman's day. What did you do? What was that?
So he shamed you.
He shamed me hard.
That's like,
and then he was
very
so
shamey.
mean. Yeah. Well, and he was also like 20 at the time.
Okay, that's fair.
An annoying
bastard.
Yeah, truly. I mean, now that I think about that, I just needed some support.
No, but I think I understand, because there's a weird play in status when someone recognizes you as if you have a high status in some way and then I have a low status because you're this person. I wonder if it's like, or you were also like, no, that's this other thing I do. It's not the real actress that I am.
It wasn't that. It was more like I felt so socially awkward and unsure of myself, like a capital S self. Like, this is me. I'm valuable no matter what. And I'm planted in myself and I'm okay. I had not even a taste of that.
No.
And I was so uncomfortable with humans that I was just like, no! And I ran away.
Oh,
and my brother.
That's so sweet, though.
I was
you
really.
guys were a little overwhelmed.
I was really overwhelmed. I hadn't read Scattered Minds yet.
No.
I didn't know what to do.
And that's the sponsor of our podcast.
I want to meet him. Gabor Mate?
Gabor, I believe, is a Hungarian name. I'm half Hungarian, and my uncle's name was Gabor. Yeah.
But I wasn't famous then. The really time I realized that like just people, like things were different was the weekend after Orange is the New Black came out.
Oh,
when that first season launched, and we were like, I still, do you know that was like 10 years ago? It's like, we were making a web series. Because there was no precedent set for like everything streaming at once.
There was nothing. Who knew that show would be just massive?
And the way people consumed it was so odd, because we like at the end of, I remember I was out to dinner that weekend that it came out. The Saturday it came out, it wasn't even the full weekend.
And you were in New York?
Mm-hmm. And I'd never, because I'd made a few movies and been working and doing things since that Mercy television show, but and done some plays and stuff. But I've just been working on myself. I'd really gotten, I'd started to deal with some of my addictions and stuff like that. But really, it was under the radar. And then we left dinner, and people out the door were recognizing. I think it was with Samira Wiley, actually, from the show, and people were like, and yeah.
Were you feeling like the same awkward, like?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad. I had a few more years on myself, but it was still weird.
Yeah,
it wasn't as like painful as that first thing.
Yeah. No, you weren't ready.
I didn't know what
Poor
to do.
little baby.
I tried my best.
Wow. Okay, so here's a question that I have that I think is really cool is how did you become friends with Jane Fonda? I thought that was a great question.
Oh my God,
because I
that's
know
a great,
you guys, yeah.
that's a great question. Like,
She's a legend. She's amazing. What's
Yeah.
she like? Like,
she's incredible. Do you know, she wrote me a note. I learned so much from her. I just said happy, you know, she turned 85
holy cannoli.
and one of the organizations she started, I don't even remember, my scattered mind.
Google Jane Fonda
Something in Georgia. It's like
Georgia. And then-
and it's like a Georgia, it's like for adolescents in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me to say happy birthday to her in a montage that they made.
For Jane?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And I said happy birthday, and I said a few things about loving her so much and wanting her to feel a little bit of everything that she's putting out in the world. And I hope that it comes back to her and she can feel some of what she puts out. And she wrote me a note saying thank you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she did that for everyone. It was a montage of a bunch of actors and people.
I don't know how many it was. I don't know how
That's pretty
many
cool.
it was, but she really talked about what I said and said thank you. And it's such a beautiful distillation of the integrity there, you know?
Yeah.
Like that, the amount of presence that she has to give everywhere. And the way that I was at the zenith of that Orange is the New Black stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just read her book on some trip, one of her autobiographies.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's written 3 of them.
I know, I was going to say, I feel like she's
written 7 books, but I read one of them and she talked about her bulimia and she talked about her really difficult relationship with her mother. And she talked about, her just difficult stuff. And someone introduced me to her. The woman, I think they just signed up to do Grace and Frankie and Grace on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And so the woman who ran Netflix at the time, incredible woman. And she introduced me to Jane. And I was just able to say it's wild. I had just read her book.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. I'm in recovery from my own bulimia and my own anorexia. And my mother is also mentally ill and and we talked at some Oscar party or something Mimi wasn't there. And he's still mad about it.
He's really upset that he wasn't there.
He was jilted.
Yeah.
So, but next time, but I can't promise it because Jane is busy.
Promise. He's a big heavy drinker anyway.
She's busy. So we kept in touch. How does that happen? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know how that happens. And I consider her one of the, something in my life that makes me understand that life is benevolent and I can trust life and that life is full of surprises really beyond my wildest dreams.
Wow.
I think about her. I have the note and it's okay, life has got my back.
That is crazy because I struggle so much with trusting life.
Yes.
Trusting that things are going to be okay.
Yes.
Releasing control.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this answers another question of who is your expander? And I feel like she's one of your expanders.
She definitely is
someone that shows you what's possible. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
What a woman, what a life. But
yes.
For someone to teach you that that you can trust life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just why are things happening? What is going on?
I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
Every
so to
day.
be able to trust that, everything happens for a reason. I know this is gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is so major. And I think it's key to survival, to being happy a little bit.
I think
or a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I mean, for me, I think it's maybe one of it's the thing. The more
you trust or you're really good about
the more
releasing.
the comfortable with probably 10 years ago decided that I wasn't going to be able to figure it out, and that becoming comfortable with uncertainty, the amount, was paramount. It's like the whole point.
Well, that's, you wake up and pray.
Yeah. Cause I don't know. I wake up and pray. I do. I really do.
Well, we never talked about your other things that you do every day in your routine.
Well, I've gotten better at that. I'm like a sober person. So I have I like pray. Sometimes I meditate, but now I realize like meditation for me can be different things. That what I'm practicing is presence and not, I have like a very vicious thought life that can really, yeah.
Well, I think it's really common. I do feel like it can get so dark because our shadow selves know us so well.
Yeah.
That they can take us out in a second.
Absolutely.
And some are just really vicious and really dark.
Yeah.
But I remember talking to you about that a long time ago, and like we were talking about naming it and like separating yourself from it.
Yeah.
That was a great conversation. I remember I pulled over. I was on Beechwood Canyon, like on the phone with you. And I was like, this is not you.
Yeah.
This is a voice that is separate from you.
I remember that conversation too. I was on Washington Street in Brooklyn. I mean, that was a tough time. Do you remember that? That was around when I'd broken my ankle, and it was like,
oh, you really had like, you were in a moment.
In that relationship, there were a few years there that were dark, really dark. I think for me, which also like is a little bit at odds with the notion of making goals and figuring stuff out and having, which I'm not opposed to. But for me, where I am now, this idea of saying my job is to listen to life versus impose my will on it. Like life will talk to me if I'm listening. Which is like,
that is
but
like,
you know what it means?
So hard for me.
It
but
means
that,
like
I know
dying. It means like dying every day. It's like I'm dying to the idea. Even before this job that just happened, the new thing came through. I was like, I'm even dying to the idea. What if this thing that the show comes out is terrible? I'm like dying to the idea of what it means even to be an actor, or how I make money, or what my relationship looks like, or having a child. Or it's like every day saying I'm kind of letting go of my want for these things and seeing what is presented to me.
That is why, because I know this about you, that is why I wanted to talk to you here. Because it seems impossible to me.
Yeah.
And I know you've been like working on it. It's a practice. It's a daily thing. You have so much support, but like, this is your livelihood that's on the line. This is your money, your career, your everything. And you're like, I surrender.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I guess it's like a muscle that needs to be strengthened. Like it's just something that you have to work on if you want it.
Yeah.
It's so foreign to me. And I think in our culture, it's so very foreign.
Well, because we live in like an individualistic, nationalistic, capitalistic, white supremacist, patriarchal place where it's like me. I'm in charge. It's me. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of deal.
Yeah.
And not even to get in, to all of that, because I'm not smart enough to tie all that stuff in. But I do, just to speak to your point, that it is the way we're socialized as well. Like we are in charge, manifest your own destiny and make it happen. Be the captain of your own ship.
Is there a little bit of that? Like I feel like it's not just like, let me just, who knows what's going to happen? Like you're not passive about it.
No,
you're actively releasing.
Yeah.
But you still want things.
Yes. Very much so. I very much want things, but I think I don't even know what the answer is, but I do know that like when you were like, I don't, in this weird, wild way, like I don't even think it is my money. And I don't even think it is my job. And I don't even think it is my relationship. I do think that it's like source that moves through me. And if it belongs, it doesn't necessarily belong to me. It's like, if that's where God, it's still so weird to say the word God out loud.
I think you're just worried that people are judging.
Yeah.
Or that people think it's religious.
Yeah.
But
and it's not religious God.
And if people want to take God in a different way or judge, that's because they have their own thing with God.
That's really true.
I think whoever listens to this podcast is going to receive whatever the point that you're making.
Yes. Right. Okay.
God,
so we're talking about like a higher power.
I have a weird thing with God too.
Yeah.
It's new to me.
I'm worried about what other people are going to think.
I understand, but like the intention for this podcast is putting love and joy and inspiration and a little funny into the world.
Beautiful.
And I just feel like whoever is listening, I'm attracting that into this audience. The energy of the podcast is going to be so good. Jess. So no one's going to judge you. They're all going to love it. They're going to love you.
It's so beautiful. Well, that's what you just said is so beautiful. And I'm so glad you're doing this.
Really?
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, cause like it is this, yeah. I mean, I don't have any answers, but I know what works for me. Okay, I just know what works for me. And like for example, Jane, I think Jane found ways, found ways that like,
we call her Jane.
She like has found a lot of her healing. What works for her is a lot of activism and doing other people and being involved in big groups. And I've found ways that work for me to heal and live in the world with my specific trauma and my specific gifts and how to move through the world as me. And what works for me is that my career isn't like mine. It belongs to a God of my understanding, and my relationships too, and my money too. So there's nothing for me to hold on to because it's moving, it's moving through me.
Can I ask you?
Hey ho.
Did you just call me a hoe?
Oh yeah.
Hey ho.
Hey ho.
Hey ho. Okay.
No chips and tunes and money have I none. It's a song.
Do it. Sing it.
No.
Schnoogly, I know the words.
Yeah.
By the way, if you ever want to sing a song and you don't know the words, you just have to meow it.
I've learned that from you.
Yeah. Any song.
Meow, 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 meow. That's the song.
You lost me.
That was the song I was singing. I'm remembering it. Hey ho, winks and the rain. No, money have I none, but still I will. Hey.
You nailed it. All right, I'm back on. Okay, wait. I have a question.
Yeah.
What do you think that the release, the surrender, it's not my money, it's not my job, unless it is mine, which then it stays. Do you think that you've adopted
But then that's not even mine. If it's like, dang, it's not like mine. It's just like what's moving through me at that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just, I don't understand. And I
don't either. I don't understand either.
It's really cool. It's really cool. I wonder, because you do all these beautiful things to take care of yourself, to prevent pain, really.
Or to compost the pain that's already there.
Okay.
To process and be with.
Do you think that there's surrender because your career? I mean, I live with an actor. Mm-hmm. I've been an actor. Mm-hmm. I know the life. It is so hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard. At no matter what level you're at. Yes. I've learned being your friend.
Yes.
Being friends of actors that are just starting out doing commercials. Like, it is the same.
Yeah.
You all go through this rejection and you come close to things and you want things. So like, to protect yourself, you can say, this doesn't belong to me.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's a part of what it is. I mean, I'm sure it is. I mean, I don't know how you could, unless I guess, and there are many people who are great at this, who decide to produce and write and create and be in charge of their own thing, direct their own things too. My friend Ronani Roro.
But that's the route I'm deciding
that's
to
the
go
route
down.
You're taking. And that, I mean, God bless my scattered mind, but that's not in my wheelhouse. That's not my skill set. So I think that I'm sure a part of what works for me is out of I don't even want to say self-preservation, because I think like I'm kind of like not into the idea of
preserving or self.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think there's like a capital S self, like a soul that I'm interested in, but this like I guess I'm thinking more of a persona or a personality. Like there's nothing to hold on to because that's not real. So I don't know. What's your question?
I just wanted to know if you have adopted this way of living, this way of being, of in the flow, and source is kind of, in charge. If that way of approaching life is for a survival, the element of survival, because your job is so hard and life can be hard. And it seems like an
Absolutely.
easier way to live, but maybe just really, it seems so simple, but so hard.
I mean,
Simple
that's
and
it.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple and hard. That's exactly what it is. It's simple and it's not easy. And absolutely, I think everything I do is from a place of like survival and trying to make sense of it. Of course,
Yeah.
that all of these have sprung from me trying to make sense of my own individual life.
Who are your biggest expanders besides Jane? Anyone else you'd want to name?
You are one of them.
Thank you.
Truly. So is Eric. His energy. I mean, you
My
really, really, really are. I mean, it's like, it's really good complementary because we're in the same soil, you know,
Aw.
and going in different directions. I can't even, there are
I mean,
so
just
many.
if there's anything, yeah, or like
I'm reading this book right now by this guy named Eric Fromm, and it's called The Art of Loving. And it's from like, I think 1956. And he's a psychoanalyst, and he's talking about love as an art form. And as really, it talks about caring for, kind of like we have to care for ourselves to be able to care for another person, but he's expanding my brain.
Hell yeah.
My therapist, you know, I mean, I think it's why I'm so obsessed with acting and actors, because I can't even count all of them. But one of a large expander in my life is when I see someone really telling a story with their body and like a performance. And I feel more grounded in my own humanness and more capable of showing up to life. And that is really expansive for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever write a book, like a memoir or something about your life?
Do you remember that day I was here a couple of weeks ago and flipping out about how I should be writing more? Do you remember that after Big Bud? I remember it. We went to buy those jumpsuits, and then I was so worried that I should be writing more.
I didn't know you were talking about a book.
I wasn't. But I think
you should. I think you should write a book.
Well,
I mean,
think
it doesn't have to
someday
be
I will.
soon. Yeah,
I mean, I think someday
I think I will too. Like when I'm, in 10 years or something.
Yeah, I think I could write a book when I'm in my 50s. I would someday like to talk about, I had a pretty extreme childhood, and I would like to at some point let it be, like to share for myself, like piece the puzzles together outside.
But you help a lot of people if you wrote that, because you can't look at your, you came out so healed.
Yeah.
Or in the process of healing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I think you should.
I like that idea. I mean, I really, really would. I feel like, I mean, I have taken these. Did I tell you I was taking these memoir writing classes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
like a couple of years ago. And a lot of what this woman was talking about, which I think she took from her own teachers, is like, you write from a scar, not a wound or something. Like you write from like once there's healing rather than like a bloody
stump.
A bloody stump. You don't write. You can't write
because you don't have a hand. Yeah.
No hand.
No,
you have to wait till you get the prosthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are places that I'm like, I'm not sure. It's like half. We can't follow through with that, but it's not fully. Yeah. I can't fully pick up the writing instrument yet.
I bet you could.
I know, but I just don't want to. I hate it.
Okay, great.
I hate it so much.
On that note, is there anything that you'd want to say to at the end of our very first Expanders podcast? We're finishing up. We killed it.
So honored to be here with you, and you doing this is expansive to me.
Well, thank you.
And everyone who listens, this is you, writing a book. It's just doing the thing. It's beautiful.
Thanks, friend.
It's amazing.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my God, it was worth the hour and 20-minute drive.
Oh, yeah.
It was, though.
I know. Well, thank you.
I got some really good phone calls done.
Okay, good. Well, you're also going to get a free dinner out of it. A free meal of your choice. Toots.
I want a boiga.
Oh, delicious. Okay, well, thank you. We love you, and goodbye.
Bye.